Essentials like bread were in short supply in Aleppo in the days after Islamist rebels took control of the northwestern Syrian city from government forces. Reuters visited Aleppo Wednesday and spoke to locals lining up for food and fuel. While a week on, some services are back, including some set up by the rebels. Ahmed Hamdan said some people were not able to get bread at all.
In terms of the bread situation, this is a very, very big crisis. People in their hundreds are at the bakeries. Some people can get bread, and others not at this time. The bread situation, some good people gave us bread. Getting bread has become a struggle.
The insurgents, led by the group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, are trying to show Syrians and the West that they are a viable alternative to President Bashar al Assad. They've set up several services like traffic control and lifted a curfew. However, gas remains in short supply. One motorist complained prices were too high. It's profiting those in power, he says. HTS is still seen as a terror group by Turkey and the West, even though it cut ties with al-Qaeda and rebranded itself as a more moderate group. A decade ago, Aleppo was a major battle site between al-Assad's government and rebel forces, a bloody civil war that had no formal end and which killed hundreds of thousands of Syrians and displaced millions. But in the past week, the insurgents led by HTS staged a whirlwind advance in the north of the country. They captured Aleppo last week and Hama this Thursday, which lies more than a third of the way between Aleppo and Damascus, Syria's capital in the south. The onslaught is President al-Assad's biggest challenge in years, and a devastating blow to him and his Russian and Iranian allies.
Syrian rebels released this footage on Thursday, purporting to show a captured government military site near the city of Hama. Reuters was able to verify the location, but not the date. Rebels said they'd ousted the Syrian military from Hama, their latest victory in a lightning advance across the country's north. The Syrian army said it had redeployed outside the city in what it called an effort to, quote, preserve civilians' lives and prevent urban combat. It's a significant blow to President Bashar al-Assad. The capture of Hama comes days after rebels took the main northern city of Aleppo and have since pushed south from their enclave in northwest Syria. One of the key rebel commanders goes by the nom de guerre Abu Mohammed al-Jawlani. This week, Golani visited Aleppo's historic citadel in a moment of symbolic victory. Rebels were driven from the city after a brutal siege in 2016. Golani had previously led the Syrian branch of the al-Qaeda Islamist group, but now calls his militia Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS. The group has been designated a terrorist outfit by Turkey, the United States, Russia, and other countries. Golani's rebranding appears aimed to de-emphasize the hard-line Sunni element of his past in the fight for a country made up of different religious and ethnic minorities. Golani has pledged to protect Syria's religious minorities and has called on them to abandon Assad. But many remain fearful of the insurgents. Shafiqa Saida and her husband Mohammed Nasro are part of Syria's Yazidi minority who fled Aleppo as the rebels approached. They are living in tents outside the city of Tabqa, desperate for food. Saida said she implored her husband to flee.
They said that the Free Syrian Army would enter the area. We were afraid because there were women with us. We were afraid that they would kidnap them from us. My husband said we will stay in the area and not go out. So my eyes teared up and I cried. I told him, how will you leave me with these women here? But I convinced him.
Rebels in Hama said they were preparing to keep marching south toward Homs, Syria's great crossroads city that links the capital, Damascus, to the north and coast.
وضع المشافي غالبا خارج الخدمة معظمها، ما في كوادر، ما في معدات، المشافي خارج الخدمة كلها نتيجة القصف على المشافي.
قسم كبير من الأطباء ترك العمل في المشفى، ومنهم من غادر إلى مناطق النظام ومنهم من التزم بيته نتيجة الظروف الأمنية الغير مستقرة. وعلى هذا الأساس فقد المشفى قسم كبير من إمكانياته. الآن نحن توجهنا من الريف الغربي والمناطق في الشمال إلى المشفى لتدعيمه من الكادر الطبي وفنيين وإلى آخره، وحتى فنيي صيانة، حتى نرمم النقص الحاصل في ظل ظروف القصف الشديد التي تتعرض لها المدينة وحتى المشفى أيضا. حاليا فقط يعني خلينا نقول الحالات الساخنه، قسم الاسعاف الداخلي وقسم الاسعاف الجراحي هدول على مدار الساعه، وعندنا فوق العمليات كمان شغالين الحمد لله.